came across you with the trending hashtag MAGA Communism. Now, a lot of people are gonna hear that hashtag MAGA Communism and be a little bit confused. So I'm gonna let you explain what that means, because I don't think you're a communist, Jackson.
Well, I actually am a communist, but at the end of the day, communists have a lot of the same goals as working class Americans made up in the MAGA movement. So we as communists want to unite with MAGA voters and finish the job of Donald Trump and getting the globalists out of the MAGA movement.
You just heard from the spokesperson of the so-called MAGA communism movement, and it's pretty hilarious hearing from a guy who never really read Marx make declarations about what communism is and what Marx would have wanted. And you're about to hear more of that hilarity in the next clip.
Now, Jackson, I'm gonna push back just a little bit, because you and I, it sounds like, agree on a whole slew of things. I despise big pharma, I despise big tech, I despise the deep state regime. But where's the differentiation here is, I would consider myself a conservative populist, and it sounds like, the views that you're espousing definitely fall on that line. So what makes you a communist specifically?
Communism and Marxism historically has always been conservative. It's a new era of communism in the West that claims to be adherent to these liberal leftist values. So this is not true Marxism. This is Marxism funded by George Soros, and they're trying to take away what Marxism actually means for the American people.
I mean, thank God we have this guy to give us the details on what communism really means. It's all about, fighting back against globalization. By the way, let's take a look at the graphic. He posted this on Twitter to help us understand what MAGA communism really stands for. There's a lot on there, right? Many bullet points, some of which I do agree with. End debt slavery, imprison opioid/fentanyl networks. There's some stuff in there though that does not seem to gel with communism. For instance, there's pardon January 6th protesters. Also extend free speech to social media. Ban Antifa street terrorism is on that list. Notably, what's missing is a single payer healthcare system. That's no Medicare for all, no single payer healthcare system mentioned in those bullet points. Patriotic education is included. End woke academia. Arrest George Soros, Bill Gates, Fauci, all Epstein associates / criminals.
Yeah,
that's what Marx did write about. Voluminous texts, and he definitely mentioned all those things.
Yeah, look, I think this is a really interesting phenomenon. I think it might be positive, actually. So I'm curious what you think about that in a second.
Yeah, accidentally, I agree, but go ahead.
Okay, but all of this is hilarious. First of all, the face of the OAN host when he's like, "No, actually, I am a communist," and he was like, "Okay, so." Because the right wing is built on buzzwords, right? And so once you do a buzzword, they like, we talked about this the other day. If you say to right wingers, "Hey, your employees, your employers are oppressing you," they're like, "Yeah, goddamn right, man. My manager sucks, my boss sucks, my company sucks. You should have higher wages." "Yeah, goddamn right, we should have higher wages. I'm only making $8.25. In fact, we should do $15 minimum wage." "Did you say minimum wage?" "No, I'm out." Why? Because you used a word that triggered them, because Tucker Carlson told them that minimum wage was bad. No, dude, he's trying to get you higher wages. So he's kind of untriggering communism here. It's kind of a mind twist here, is one way of putting it. Is he right that Marx wanted to arrest George Soros? Of course not, okay? Globalization, well, it depends on what you mean. If you mean neoliberal, which means conservative, I know it's confusing. Policies of global capitalization of the whole world, then yes, Karl Marx was and communists were very much against that. If you mean the world uniting as one, Karl Marx literally said, "Workers of the world unite." So he would be in favor of that kind of globalism. So yeah, he doesn't know his history that well. He doesn't know his political philosophy that well. But Anna, I really like him trying to put a And by the way, I'm not a communist or
it's
Marxist.
amazing. No, I love all of this. I say go forward. Like, this is fantastic, right? Because all of a sudden you have like an endless supply of Trump supporters and pro-MAGA individuals touting communism. I mean, they don't really know what communism means, right? So, for instance, in the bullet points, he mentions nationalizing social media. So does that mean you want to nationalize private corporations? Because that's the thing, like, have they actually sat down to think about what this would mean, right?
Yeah.
Nationalizing companies, corporations, natural resources. I'm all for that. And if this grifter, and that's what he really is, somehow manages to accidentally convince conservatives to support nationalizing certain businesses.
Well, there's two phenomenons here, right? One is a simple, hey, we're pulling them towards our policy positions. So even the OAN host is like, well, I'm against big pharma, I'm against big tech. Okay, great. Welcome.
Yeah, but
Come
what do you mean by I'm against it, right?
Yeah.
Are you against big tech because you think big tech has gone too woke? Right? Because that's where he's coming from. It's really important to draw those distinctions. Right-wing populism is not about the economic dynamics that have placed workers at a significant disadvantage, right? No, right-wing populism is, no, we want to be able to do what we want to do, say what we want to say with no consequences. We want to be able to overturn the results of a democratic process. The 2020 presidential election is an example of that. That's what they're really about.
Yeah, but so this goes to the second thing that I was going to talk about. You know how I had a conversation with Brianna Joy Gray on literally the conversation. You should check that out. And what I said at the end was, look, Brianna, if we're using these tactics to pull people to the left, great, I love it, right? But if you got people like, the fake left pretending to be progressive and pulling people to the right and being pro-Trump, pro-America first, all these, it's right-wing policies, then that's bad, right? It's obvious who's winning here. So Anna is right that, yeah, they're not doing it for the right reasons. What they would do with big tech is make sure that conservatives are number one on your platforms, suppress the other bad guys. I don't like them, I like me, okay? Make me king, right? I know that for big pharma, they're like, I don't like your vaccines, it saves people's lives. But they're headed towards the direction of, hey, maybe big business isn't our friend.
Yeah, no, exactly. So,
right, and remember, the whole point of the Republican Party was big business is your best friend.
Yeah.
The rich are the greatest, and corporations are even better. It's filled with rich people, okay? And now that's not working anymore. They really, really don't like big business. And then here comes, he's a clownorama, like, oh, Marx was conservative. he would want Antifa protesters arrested. They're anti-fascist. That's exactly what Marx was.
Now, the one thing I will say though is, look, do I think that this is actually gonna lead to anything? No, I don't, right? But we should also be careful because if you think about the fascists and Nazis and the kind of strategy they utilize to bring people over to their side, they spoke of, and they specifically pulled at the heartstrings of individuals who were really dealing with the economic ramifications at the time, right? And so they used that kind of rhetoric, they co-opted socialist rhetoric to bring people in, and then their populist movement was really about what? Literally exterminating people, killing people, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was really about. So that's why I think we should be careful, because in this list, there's also stuff like no open borders, as if we have open borders, right? So it's the same rhetoric that you would hear from the MAGA crowd in terms of being isolationists, getting rid of migrants, that kind of stuff.
So if you say, hey, listen, I got this, and I looked at the list, that list is not that bad. It's like 70% of it is
sprinkled in there is some pretty hateful stuff, but
it is, right? And that's why you have to be careful, right? But if you say, hey, take this list, which is 70% things that you might agree with, and that's why you should vote for Donald Trump. Oh, no. Trump doesn't believe those things. Or that's why you should vote for DeSantis. No, you're a lunatic. I'm not doing that, etc. Now, if the fake left wants to pull you in that direction, oh no, it's okay. They say that they're so far left, they're communists. Make sure you give up all your rights to Donald Trump. No deal at all. Absurd, don't believe their lies, okay?
Yeah.
But if they say, hey, look, these are the policies you should be in favor of, and then we say, you know who's actually in favor of a lot of those policies? Most of those, and actually believes it? Bernie Sanders. And you pull them to the left and get them to open their mind, then fantastic. But definitely be careful.
Now I wanna go to the very last video here, because if you're wondering, what is this really about? Is it actually about building a broad coalition? Is it about uniting the country? No, it's not about any of that. This guy has been very clear about what motivates him and what he cares about. And you're about to hear it in this next video.
I did it for the clout. I do everything for the clout. You'll never see me do something not for the clout. That's the only way I operate. That is the only way I operate. That is the only way I operate. There is a great
privileged boy from Orange County is doing this for the clout. And so like everything's fun and games for people on social media. And that's what I'm kind of sick of, right? And everyone engages in it, it's super annoying. People love to declare what their positions are without backing like their positions with data and evidence. Everyone loves to turn politics into like their personal identity or their personal grift. And it's not a joke, like these are real issues that impact tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of Americans. Yeah. But it's just a cute little grifty joke to engage in, that's it.
Yeah, but it's always cloudy on the internet. And so this guy is at least being honest about it. And why did he do this funny thing of MAGA communism that draws your attention? To draw your attention.
Yeah, congratulations.
I hear you, but on the other hand, when they make mistakes, it's okay to take advantage of those mistakes. Yeah, come this way, come this way. We'll tell you what the real problem with big business is. They're keeping your wages down, you don't have health care, they've oppressed you your whole life, they're squeezing the hell out of you. Now they're making you pay them for training on their job. Okay, we can tell you all the problems with big business, the actual problems. It isn't about pulling people to my team. It's about, wait, if you care about those issues, who actually wants to fix those issues for you? And that's how you wind up being a progressive, when you realize we're the only ones that are actually honest and wants to fix these problems.